Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 entry-level positions that don't require any technical experience for cybersecurity. I know what you're saying though. It's like, okay, here's another video talking about the same thing that has been talked about ad nauseam. But there are some differences that I want to point out. The first one is during my research, I went back roughly about 5 years, it's circular reporting. And what I mean by that is one video starts off talking about this particular topic and everybody starts adding on because for whatever reason, it really blew up in social media. So now there's different flavors or different perspectives, which is, a good thing. It's always good to get other people's experiences on the same content, but it seems to be the same job roles over and over and over. The second point I want to make is all of them are technically focused or require some type of building your own lab or doing all this additional work to show your expertise on said positions. One thing that cybersecurity has a problem with is we keep on telling everybody to get a job in cybersecurity, you need to have this technical mindset and you need to know how to hack, you need to know how to code, but that is doing a disservice to our profession. And I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was the transition from IT. Folks back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, wearing dual hats and now they become security professionals. But that being the case, I just want to use an analogy. If you want to go into the medical profession, it's like asking everybody, well, to get in here, you need to know how to do open heart surgery. And of course, that sounds ridiculous when somebody says that. There's so many roles in the medical profession that don't require cutting somebody up and doing an operation. It's very similar to cybersecurity. So the 5 jobs that I'll be talking about, entry-level positions that require no technical experience, I think 1 is known to the majority of folks out there, but 4, I would argue, are brand new that nobody's thought of, that in all the different places that I've worked at, they have been an intricate part in a good cybersecurity program. So let's get started. So the first role is governance, risk, and compliance analyst. So what do GRC analysts do? So essentially they help the organization ensure that the cybersecurity practices comply with regulation and standards. This role involves assessing risks, reviewing controls, and monitoring compliance to mitigate potential security threats. So what are some of the skills that you need to get into this position? So basic understanding of regulatory requirements in industry standards. So if you're in Europe, GDPR, understanding that when it comes to privacy. Here in the US, HIPAA, which is healthcare privacy regulation, or PCI, which deals with credit card compliance. The other one is analytical and problem-solving abilities, attention to detail and strong organizational skills, and excellent written and verbal communications. The second one is training, education, and awareness analyst. So what do these analysts do? What a training and education awareness program analyst is essentially responsible for maintaining a cybersecurity training program to educate employees about security policies, procedures, and best practices. This role involves assessing the training needs, creating engaging content, and measuring the effectiveness of a training program. So this isn't where you're going to build up a training and awareness and education program at company X, Y, and Z. There's one already built, and all you're going to be doing is maintaining that and working with, probably primarily with your cyber threat intel team, to understand any new emerging threats that we need to incorporate and start notifying everybody within the business. So some key traits or basic skills required for this position would be strong communication and presentation skills, basic knowledge of cybersecurity principles and practices, familiarity with content creation, and lastly, the ability to assess and evaluate training effect. So the third one is Cyber Threat Intelligence Analyst, which is my specialty and what I'm extremely passionate about. So what do CTI analysts do? They collect, they analyze, they disseminate information about the current and emerging threats, and they provide informed decision-making to every single level of the organization. Because at the end of the day, it's providing information so people can take certain action based on that information. So if we know that there is an impending attack from a cyber threat actor targeting our network, then obviously the CISO, in conjunction with the CEO and all C-suite, will take appropriate action to defend its networks. I wish it was that easy that we would get information that way, but I know it doesn't work that way. So some of the basic requirements for a CTI analyst: analytical skills and interpret and correlate the analytical and problem-solving skills, attention to detail and strong organizational skills, excellent written and verbal communication, and strong research and reporting and writing skills. Number 4, Cyber Operations Planning Analyst. Cyber Operations Planning Analysts perform in-depth joint and cybersecurity planning process. This role involves gathering information and developing a detailed operational plan in orders and supporting requirements. It conducts strategic and operational level planning across a full range of operations for integrated information and cyberspace operations. So basically what they do, they help put on tabletop exercise. So you are the program manager to get with your red team, purple team, if you're doing it internally. You're getting with your incident response, all the security teams that we're going to do a tabletop exercise. Okay, is it going to be a technically focused, more at the analyst level, or is it going to be an executive tabletop exercise? So they know what to do. So this operations program analysts, all they're doing is, getting everybody into the right location with the right information for them to know what type of exercise it is. Now, if it's a third-party tabletop exercise, then they're going to collect all the requirements from the internal teams and then share that and be a liaison, if you will, with the third-party company to make sure that they're meeting all the specific requirements for this particular tabletop exercise. So it's just making sure everything is running smoothly, basic knowledge of technical expertise. If you know it, great. If you don't, again, you're just that liaison between third-party and internal teams. So some of the skill sets that you require: planning and organizational skills, knowledge of cybersecurity operations and threat management. And that's just basic knowledge. Analytical and critical thinking ability. And then attention to detail and strong organizational skills. You're going to have a lot of people that you're going to have to get together to make the tabletop exercise successful. And then again, excellent written and verbal communication. And the last one, number 5, is the knowledge manager / analyst. And don't let the manager aspect fool you. It's not a managing position. Essentially, they're responsible for managing and organizing the organization's cybersecurity knowledge and information. Think of them as the master librarian within any organization that knows all the different third-party vendors. And obviously, this is probably for a smaller business, because if you're a multinational corporation, third-party vendors, risk management is going to be extremely hard. Not one person, but maybe a team I know. But this role involves creating and maintaining a knowledge base, facilitating information sharing, and ensuring that relevant data is accessible to team members. So it could be updating internal SharePoint sites if your company uses Microsoft products, just internal intranet websites with the latest information. And to use an example for the operations and planning, making sure all the phone numbers and contact information is relevant and up to date in each of the team's websites. Getting with each team and making sure if there's any personnel changes, any change in mission and or scope, that's all captured in this knowledge base. So somebody who is providing or facilitating all this knowledge that is going everywhere and just maintaining this repository or several repositories of data within the organization. The skill sets, very similar to what we've already discussed: attention to detail and strong organizational skills. Basic understanding of knowledge management system and tools. Each company is going to have their own unique set of tools, so you don't have to master all the different management platforms out there. Just understand how to navigate, which is pretty simple. Excellent communication and collaboration abilities, and ability to curate and document technical information clearly, and potentially analytical and problem-solving ability. So those are the 5 entry-level positions that do not require any technical skills in cybersecurity. Just one caveat though. As I said in the previous video, the job market is extremely hard. I'm not guaranteeing any of this, but you need to start looking for some of these roles instead of the typical technical roles. Each company is going to have their own variations of titles of these specific roles. So it gives you a holistic view of potential jobs out there, again, that do not require the technical skills that we so often push in our industry. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, please like, share, and comment. And for those looking for the regularly scheduled program of interviewing amazing guests, we'll start that up next week. But with that, enjoy the rest of your day, night, and we'll chat soon.